Gentlemen,
Bobby Wesson, how you doing, brother?
doing all right, sir. How are you?
Oh, I can't complain for a white guy with a job. Tiggy, you with us?
Yo, is my microphone good?
Your microphone is good. Can you raise the volume on it just a little bit?
Yeah.
Probably just
Raise the volume. I'll talk louder.
Okay, yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah,
How are you gentlemen doing?
I'm naked.
Excellent.
So, I mean,
Feather boa and beeper. Yeah, on a clip to your asshole.
feather boa. Well, I try to be formal. I felt like a feather boa was appropriate.
Oh, absolutely.
Classy in the South, Tiggy.
Yeah, that's good to hear, man.
All right, let me do my official intro. This is going to be, oh man, I can't fucking wait for this. And we are back with the Smacking Off podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, the smack off you've all been waiting for. From SEC Smack representing the SEC, their very own Bobby Wesson. Yay, yay. Well, there'll be some applause in the post-production. And representing the Pac-12, the John the Baptist of the Pac-12, ladies and gentlemen, legendary poster, Tiggy Domz. What's up, fellas?
Yeah, let's go. So, John the Baptist. How are you the John the Baptist of the Pac-12? Is that because like the real smacker will show up 100 years from now? You're just a precursor for him.
I never associate myself with that. That's more of a BYU thing. We don't really. It's not really Pac-12 thing.
Well, I mean they've got the magic underwear. BYU's not a Pac-12 team. They could be. How do you feel about BYU?
BYU
up there in Washington country.
BYU. I mean, as a football team, yeah, they're all right as like a football team, but
Well, I saw something here on my news feed recently that BYU, and this was fucking news. I mean, it was no joke. I had to fact check it.
Real news, not fake
now
news.
going
Real
to
news.
serve caffeinated drinks at the stadium.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
just
so I mean,
crazy,
like,
dude.
yeah, they're gonna fucking party, man. They're gonna have caffeine in the stadium with people in Utah. It was a big thing. I mean, the thread had thousands of comments. People were pissed off.
Have
about
either one
cutting.
of you ever been to a strip club with a Mormon? It is hilarious. No shit. True story.
I can't
I'll go
relate
into
on
it
that,
some
man.
other time. True story,
Yeah.
man. I've led an interesting life.
I lived in Utah for about 6 months.
What'd
at
you
one
do that
point,
for?
And, I mean, they're super friendly people, man. It's really nice, but it's
I've been to
there's-
Chick-fil-A, man. Shit, I mean, those are some good people, man.
well, it was, I mean, I felt like if I was there for another 6, I would have been Mormon before I left, just because I would have felt socially obligated to do it because they were just so stupid nice. about
Don't give me
everything.
that shit. It was the multiple wives thing. That's what had you hooked.
Well, I mean, I've already got a bunch of cousins, so I mean, that's not even bothering me.
Roll Tide.
I mean, why would I want to marry him? That's not any fun.
Tiggy,
All right,
But-
bro.
Tiggy, let's
So,
talk. Let's talk for a second. I
I-
want to hear. I
like,
want to
I need
hear
to
some
clarify.
playoff talk.
Thing you're trying to
Playoff talk.
get the
about the
conversation. My bad.
playoffs?
Go ahead.
Yeah, let's talk about the playoffs because again,
All
both of us, both of you fellas are representing fan bases that you strongly believe are going to make the playoffs this year.
Well, let me clarify here to start with. My intro was that I'm repping the SEC. I'm not. I'm an Alabama fan. Fuck the SEC.
Well, Alabama
Is
pretty
just
much
how I
is the
feel about
SEC,
it.
though. If you want to get down to it,
Yeah, I mean, SEC is, hey, it's great, but Alabama fans generally scream "Roll Tide." The people you hear yelling "SEC, SEC" are the people that are not making the championship games
Right.
and are
Kentucky fans.
not making
Yeah.
playoff
Riders.
games.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean, and they're just trying to dick ride Alabama's success when they're smacking with somebody who's from a fan base that can't beat Bama, and that's what I don't know how that whole thing came to be. I don't give a fuck if Auburn is playing people. They could be playing an entire team full of people that only scrape their nails down chalkboards and tell you, "Happy, I'll see you next year on December 31st." And I fucking hate both those people. Right? I would still pull for them over Auburn. I don't care who Tennessee's playing.
Yeah, fuck Auburn. Let's go. I think we can all agree on that right now. Fuck Auburn.
Well, I mean, if they were playing for the sake of the galaxy, I wouldn't give a shit. They could be playing Darth Vader. I don't care. You man, Death Star this bastard. I don't give a shit.
Well,
I don't want them to win.
Let's talk about Washington.
Tiggy.
Yeah, I'm here.
Tell us about Washington. What's going to happen?
All right, bro. Bro, here's the thing, right? I came into the group before week 1, like back in January, right after the season ended, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I came in, bro. I told everyone Washington's gonna go 12-0. I said, see me at the end of the season. I'ma have a hat on that says I told you so. 12-0, bro. I'm gonna change it right now. I'm saying it right now. 13-0. All right, 13-0 and guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Well, now look, it's not a big
I've seen the Pac-12
coming out of the Pac-12.
The Pac-12 is a one-team conference, bro. We're gonna run this shit, dude. Yo, Washington State is trash. All right, they're not good, bro. And we play them in Seattle, dude. Look at our schedule, bro. If you really think any of those teams are gonna stop us, bro, you're on crack.
I think you've got about the easiest path to the playoffs that you can have. USC, I mean, they're just overhyped.
What about Wisconsin, though, bro?
Year.
Wisconsin doesn't play a single ranked team all year.
Well,
Do they not?
I mean, they play Michigan, but Michigan's not even going to be ranked.
Michigan, who just lost to Michigan State last weekend, yeah.
So we all agree that Washington's going.
Wisconsin and Penn State, Ohio State will creep their ass back into the playoffs, and I hope that doesn't happen. They didn't deserve to be there last year. They weren't good enough to be there last year. They showed that. I'd much rather have seen Penn State in the playoffs last year.
So how does Washington and Alabama match up, Tiggy?
Oh, all right. Look, so what I've seen last year, right? Like I watched the game, right? So basically, what happened is that for some reason nowadays, like there's this like stupid Georgia fan.
Somebody's cooking meth in the background.
Yeah.
That's the sound of cooking meth. I've seen Breaking Bad before. I know that sound.
Go ahead, Tiggy.
All right. Well, I'm gonna continue. All right. So there's like these stupid SEC fans. They're over here saying that Alabama blew out Washington last year. They're saying that they blew us out. I'm just like, bruh, here's the thing, right? Alabama got lucky last year. All right? Here's the problem. No. Hold on. Hear me out.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So we go down the field, like first or second possession, we score a touchdown, right? Legit drive. All right, we score a touchdown on a legit drive. And then Bama goes down the field. They score a touchdown on a legit drive, right? So there we go, 7-7.
7-7, even game.
And then we fumble the ball. They recover in the red zone. And their offense gets shut down by our defense. They kick a field goal, right? So our offense just gave them 3 points. Pretty much. That's what happened. Our offense just gave you guys 3 points. And then, like, there's 2 minutes left before halftime. You guys are up 10-7, and then we're on our own 20-yard line, and we just gift you a pick six, right? Jake Browning just throws a pass behind the line of scrimmage, gets picked off, touchdown, whatever, right? So, at this point, our offense has scored more points for you guys than they have for us.
It's crazy how that works.
And then your only other touchdown came on, like, an 80-yard run. So, you guys didn't dominate us, right? We shut down Jalen Hurts. Bro, Jalen Hurts threw for 50 yards.
Right.
Go look that up. He threw for about 50 yards or so. We got what was it? We got 3 sacks on them, none of the teams can move the ball really, right? Bama was not that much better than us. And, from last year to this year, Bama's lost some key pieces on defense. We already have the blueprint to stop Jalen Hurts. I think, I don't think Bama wants to see us, come, especially in like a Rose Bowl, bro. If it's the Rose Bowl, it's over, dude. We're gonna destroy Bama.
Let me just go ahead and
go ahead
and weigh in here. I mean, it's obvious that this game has weighed heavily on your mind. You remember a lot of details about it. Here's what I remember was that Washington didn't really have a chance, and the game proved that out. Here, the facts are, man, is that Saban has 7 consecutive #1 ranked recruiting classes. When you talk about us losing key pieces, man, I've got 5 stars riding the bench who would start anywhere. I had 2 linebackers last year who played 1 year and went to the NFL. We have the horses to field 2 or 3 teams. We've already lost our starting 2 linebackers in the first game of the year, and we're still top 5 in all defensive stats. We haven't had any drop-off in talent, and we won't have it this year either. The blueprint for stopping Jalen Hurts isn't a big mystery to anybody. He's a better passer this year than he was last year, but he's still, just a running back who can throw the ball. He throws the ball really well. He's made a lot of progress in his passing.
Very Tebow-esque. Yeah, very much like Tim Tebow.
Not much different. That's a good
running back instead of Tebow's fullback, obviously.
But yeah, well that's a real good comparison. I'll take that. But the thing is that you're still going to have to score, and the recipe for beating Alabama is not a mystery. You need a dual threat quarterback playing at a Heisman level. You need to stop the run, and you need a little bit of luck. If you look back at all the games we've lost, and there's not many of them.
Ole Miss.
Yeah. I mean, there you go. If you look back at all the games we've lost, and there's not many of them, that's the formula.
Yep.
That's what happens. We've lost to Clemson. We lost to Texas A&M with Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, that's what I was.
We lost
oh
with
God,
Cam
I don't
Newton.
even think about that.
We
game.
lost with, to Ole Miss with that.
Exactly. And
just
bro, Jake
madness.
Browning is a Heisman quarterback.
So, is he a dual threat quarterback?
He's not. he's not.
Dude, he was top 5 in Heisman voting last year, bro.
Well, I mean, I get that, but he's not.
Well, so was Jalen Hurts last time I remember.
And he was injured, yo. He was injured too. That's the thing. He was injured during the Peach Bowl, bro. If he wasn't injured, dude, it's a wrap. I say we would have won that game. We would have maybe beat Clemson if Jake Browning wasn't hurt, bro. Cause look at it, bro. You see how we play on that second drive? Like, obviously, you probably don't remember it that well, but you know how we scored a touchdown early because Jake Browning was.
I remember it's the only touchdown of the game they scored, so we all remember it.
Yeah, we remember
it was early. Yeah, it was early, and there's a reason it was early.
The dynasty is dead. I mean, look, all the sports reporters had it all typed out. The dynasty is dead. They were waiting to hit send on that bastard, and you let them all down. I mean, they were looking forward to it.
It would have been dead.
They want you to win.
It would have been dead, bro. But his shoulder was hurt. It started to give out. He started to play worse. Yeah,
So I got a lot of respect for Washington and the program they've been able to build up there because, I mean, God, it's got to be tough to recruit up to that cold bastard. I lived in Washington for a little bit. The reason I don't like Washington, honestly, is because of what you assholes did during the 90s when you made wearing flannel and big baggy fucking clothes real popular.
Hey, I still have flannel in my closet. I don't want to hear that talk.
You just ruined all of my jerking off, man. All the hot girls, instead of wearing, these hot little mini skirts that were great. Now they're all walking around, all sullen and life is so hard, wearing this big bulky fucking flannel, and I can't tell if they're fat or not, And so, I gotta wait till she's good and drunk, and then God damn it, she's fat, and they're, This is gonna be where are you publishing this?
Yeah, we're gonna edit this part out. Sure, why not?
No, man. Leave this part in. I just don't go any further.
Okay.
But that whole grunge music thing, I still hold a grudge for that. I was thinking about that the whole time we were winning. It's like, yeah, Nirvana. Black Hole Sun, my.
Oh, whoa! Back up! I saw Soundgarden on that tour, and they were amazing.
They were. I mean, Soundgarden was great.
They really were. That was a great Mecca. Anyways,
I mean,
that's some other time.
We needed some. I mean, leather pants would have been great if they could have just brought that with them. That would have been perfect. But
have you ever owned a pair of leather pants?
No, I've never. I had some parachute pants at one point.
True story. I actually woke up in a commercial catfish pond in Aliceville, Alabama, wearing leather pants.
What else were you wearing?
A pleather jacket that saved my cell phone that I was actually able to call the police out to. That's a wonderful, wonderful story for my grandchildren.
That sounds like a great one. Can you still have grandchildren after that story?
No.
Was there another reason you had to call the police?
I'm the regional pullout master.
Well, I didn't know they gave out trophies for that. I should really.
Well, I don't know if you remember. I'm the oldest of 14 children.
You are.
Yeah, so the family line is strong. I'm checked out of that, man.
You are very potent.
Yes.
You come from a potent line.
Yes, that's why I pull out.
Very strong in the dick.
Skeeting on a girl's face is the most enjoyable form of contraceptive, man.
That is a high quality. They don't teach that in sex ed classes, but
no, they did. We went to high school together. Do they teach that in sex ed? Oh no, precious.
I don't know, man. I was high. Couldn't tell me
what they were doing. I didn't pay attention either. I was chasing skirt.
Okay, let's recount. Okay, so Tiggy says that Washington would beat Bama this year because Browning is healthy. He was injured last year, right? Is that what you were saying? And Bobby says that he's not a dual threat quarterback, so Washington's fucked.
Pretty much. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's the formula to beat Bama. You're going to need a dual threat QB playing at a Heisman level. You're going to have to stop the run. Just sell out to stop the run and make Jalen Hurts or whoever we have at QB throw the ball. And look, we can do it every once in a while. 1 out of 2, we'll burn your ass alive on it.
I'm pretty sure that the fact that Bama got 50 yards last year passing and still won the game is a pretty good indicator that Washington wasn't able to stop the run.
Well,
it's because y'all had Bo, bro. We weren't ready for Bo.
Oh, Bo's still there.
Yeah, he's a big son of a bitch, man. I mean, he's not your textbook running back.
No, but he's still there, Tiggy.
And quite frankly, I think was probably one of the deal breakers in the Clemson game too when he went out, because I feel like if he had stayed in, we would have had at least a chance to keep running that score up.
Yeah. I mean, it was injuries are going to happen. You don't know, what if? I mean, hell, if Colt McCoy wouldn't have went out during the Texas game in 2009, I mean, hell, they could have beat us there. Because you can romanticize the past if you want to, but the first quarter of that game did not go well for Bama against Texas. It was started out real poor.
Oh yeah,
but who knows if he doesn't go out? He was moving the ball. They couldn't stop him. He is a big bastard, but bro.
All right, yo, we gotta talk about one thing though, bro. There's one thing I'm having trouble with right now. Right, so. Explain to me why Alabama's number 1, but Washington's only number 5. Explain to me that, because in Alabama this year, we've actually played some good teams. Alabama hasn't played anyone. They almost lost to Texas A&M. Texas A&M. I think it's clear
almost
this year.
Lost. Wait a minute.
It's clear this year the Pac-12 is better than the SEC. Let's just get that out of the way, right? No. Hold up. Right. So first off, 2-0. All right, look, our 2 teams that beat your 2 teams. Look, so UCLA and California garbage team. They're probably gonna go 3-9. All right, UCLA, they're probably like a 6-6 team. All right, so the fact that 2 average and below average teams can beat average and an above average team. Look, Texas A&M is an above average SEC team, and they can't even beat UCLA, right? So, that's just and they almost beat Alabama too. You guys almost lost to Texas A&M, right?
No, how close?
That game was never in contention.
It never was.
It was a 1-score game.
Yeah, did you watch the game, Tiggy?
It was never in contention. We didn't play a good game against Texas A&M. It was sloppy. I mean, we were 2 errant throws and 2 incredible dual threat quarterback scramble miracle passes. Away from that being a 5-score game. But, it's football, man, and that's what happens. That game. But as far as the Pac-12 being better than the SEC, look, I'm not the guy who's like, yay, SEC. And I'll tell you the reason that I don't. I'm sure that you can quote a lot of stats about the SEC. You know a lot about the SEC. You have very strong feelings about the SEC. But I don't know a lot about the Pac-12 for the same reason I don't know a lot about the political landscape in Billings, Montana. And for the same reason, because neither one of them fucking matter.
Oh, okay.
Seriously.
All right.
That's the reason Washington is ranked 5, man, is because...
Well, I mean, here's who's Washington has played thus far. Rutgers.
Been able to win games, man. Alabama's won, 4 of the last 9 from 2006 to 2012? The SEC won 7 straight. I mean,
yeah, but this season, bro. This season, Alabama's 6 games, bro. In Alabama's 6 games, they've struggled against Colorado State. You guys gave up 23 to Colorado State. They have no business going 23 on a top team. And then you guys almost lost. Yeah, you almost lost to Texas A&M. You guys have struggled this season.
Did you watch the Texas A&M game, Tiggy?
What? Yeah, go ahead.
What?
Did you watch the Texas A&M game?
No.
You didn't? I can tell.
Yeah. But I saw. I was tracking this for you.
The game was never in contention. Texas A&M.
If they had got that onside kick,
it wouldn't have mattered. They've had 10 seconds left, and they would have been behind by 8 points. It wouldn't have mattered if they got the game was never in contention.
No, it wasn't.
But I mean, hey, credit to Texas A&M. I'm not taking anything away from them. Those boys came out there. everyone's telling them all week long. Hey, you're going to get crushed.
And Bama was playing them at home too. I mean, again, that was in College Station in Texas A&M's backyard.
Oh,
man. And that's practically a rivalry game these days.
Well, College Station is an incredible environment. I don't know if you've ever been to a game there, dude. It's. I was happy when Texas A&M joined the SEC because they've got a huge tradition. I'm not sure about those male cheerleaders. That's a little freaky to me. I think we can all agree that's a little weird.
No, I need my cheerleaders.
How about you,
titties.
Tiggy? Do you agree?
I think that's a pretty homophobic comment right there.
No, I mean, you can call it what you want to. It's just a little. I mean, I like having my cheerleaders.
It's not homophobic. I want to see titties. I go to a football game to see some football and hopefully see some titties.
I mean, seriously, everyone. I'm not trying to catch your legs when they go up in the air. Oh, I saw your panties. I feel good. It's like I'm in middle school. I'm not supposed to see those panties, but I did see those panties.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty. They get them on the sideline and they're zooming out, and God bless. We've got some. Look. I'll say this about the SEC, man. Who's picking the cheerleaders these days, man? Because we've got some rough cheerleaders on the sidelines when they zoom out.
Yeah.
Let's all agree on that. I'm gonna say it real quiet.
Yeah.
Washington cheerleaders. I watched that game the other night. You're in good shape. Texas A&M, they got the dudes out there. They get do the midnight. They've got some other traditions that are great. That was a little weird.
Yeah, that's not a tradition we can get behind.
This was, I was really excited when they came into the conference. I wanted to go to a game at College Station. Never had a reason to before. They are some loud sons of bitches in there. And Jalen Hurts is famous for being just ice in his veins, not rattled at all. There's no way you could not be rattled by that crowd.
The only way you could rattle him is if you put Washington's defense in front of him.
Or, I'll tell you what, if you had Washington's crowd, he'd probably been in good shape. How many people did y'all sell out of this? Like 20,000 or something that came to the champ game last year? What is the deal with the attendance at Pac-12 championship games?
It's because it's in San Francisco.
Did somebody
it's
take
not
a
that
knee?
Important, It's not an important game. No one really goes to it, Unless
the Pac-12
it's USC.
championship isn't an important game?
I mean, not because everyone knew we were going to win.
National title implications last year.
Yeah.
Everyone knew we were going to win, though, right? It's no one really bothered. There were no Colorado fans.
I love going to games I know we're going to win.
But, bro, there were no Colorado fans. That's why. We sold, we sold our share, right? Colorado, they just don't have fans.
Why didn't you buy their share up? That's what Bama fans do.
So.
Yeah.
Look, I think this is a cop-out because the entire Pac-12, I mean, if you can Google Pac-12 in attendance, and I mean, there's all sorts of problems throughout this conference with getting people to actually come to these games. I'm not sure what the deal is. Maybe y'all just got a lot going on out there. You've got the grunge metal and everything. They're probably still playing in those dive bars. You got all the
everybody's too depressed to leave the house. Yeah.
It's fucking raining probably every day. I'm sure y'all got some PETA protests to go to. There's a lot of little coffee bars with some mocha latte frappuccinos and stuff to be had. There's a lot of slam poetry going on. I'm not sure why you guys don't go to football games, but I mean, I'm glad you're a big football fan, Tiggy. That's good.
So Tiggy, Bama and Washington, they meet in the Rose Bowl, like you said. Let's just ride this scenario out. What happens?
How does it play out in 2017, the end of the year?
You know, Alabama, bro. Alabama's from the South, you know. Bro, like, once you go to the Rose Bowl, dude, West Coast teams always win the Rose Bowl, bro. If we meet you guys in the Rose Bowl, dude, it's over, right? Like, I'm willing to guess right now, like, no matter what records, if we play Alabama in the Rose Bowl, like, you know, in 2018, like, the bookies will have us as favorites, right? Because we should be able to.
What's the line? What do you think the line might be in that situation?
It's not gonna be that much. It's gonna be like we're gonna be like
just throw a number
favorites,
out, just anything.
2.5, you know, 2.5, 3-point favorites. You know, it's all right. Like it's
Alabama,
whatever, right? It doesn't matter that much.
Alabama has not been favored in one game in the last 3 years.
You mean underdog?
Underdog.
Yeah, Alabama's been an underdog once.
Yep, to Georgia.
Yeah, they did not work out well.
No, it didn't. Not for Georgia,
We
anyway.
destroyed Georgia.
And you know, if Saban had his way about it, we'd be an underdog in every single game.
Man,
So give us a score, Tiggy.
I wish they would.
If it plays out like that, Tiggy, give us a score.
All right. Right now, yeah. So assuming that, like, you know, we keep Browning healthy and like Pettis healthy, yeah. I'd say it'd probably be like 41-16. 41-16 Washington.
Okay.
41-16.
Well, honestly, it's funny because I mean, like, our offense, because we already know you guys can't move the ball on us, right? We already established that.
Right.
You haven't, but okay.
No. So you guys can't move the ball on us. Once we have a healthy quarterback, we can move the ball on you. So that it should be pretty easy for Washington.
So you've calculated this already?
I like this.
I said you've already done the calculations and you know how it's going to work out.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident on that.
Okay.
You know, and then I'm gonna tell you right now, dude. There's gonna be three Pac-12 teams in New Year's Sixes. All right.
Okay.
You're gonna have.
I thought you said it was a one-team conference.
Forget,
you just said that a
forget.
minute ago.
You
The
just
state
said
of
it was a one-team
Washington is the
conference.
best college football state this year. All right.
Right.
It's true. Go look at it. What other state in the nation has two teams in the top 8?
Let me just stop.
Not Alabama.
Hey, I appreciate
Well, Alabama's
the
got
deadpan
two teams in the
delivery
top
you got.
10 right now. But
I mean, you are. This has got to be a troll, but you are delivering this so deadpan. It sounds so serious.
Nah, bro. Bet.
they
Look
called
at the
John the
rankings
Baptist
right now.
crazy.
Tell me-
Remember that, Bobby?
Tell me what state has 2 teams in the top 8 besides Washington?
I guess they're the only one. I haven't.
Well, that's what I
looked
just said.
around.
Alabama has 2
Exactly.
teams in the top 10 right now.
It's lasted all of a week, so we'll
Yeah.
see what it
Yeah,
is
let
next
me
week.
let me tell you the reason I don't look at the rankings because Alabama is 1 and everybody else is not. That's what counts. What counts is 1, man.
No.
Number 1.
Nah, you
That's
guys aren't
the
even- you guys aren't
standard.
even
Well,
in the
now,
Alabama
to
has
be fair, I would say
Nah.
numbers 1 through 4 in the playoff era. If you're 1 through 4, you get a chance in. Anything else, you're pretty much playing the Almost Bowl.
Well, I mean that's. I tell you what, I really kind of hate that because some of these bowls. I mean, like you talk about the Rose Bowl. I mean, the Rose Bowl has so much pageantry and so much tradition, and it's if it's not involved in the playoffs, it's just kind of been relegated.
Part of
to a
that tradition does include Alabama.
Nah, bro. The Rose Bowl last year was lit, dude. I don't know what you were watching, bro.
Well, I mean, I watched the Rose Bowl last year. It was crazy, but it was a great game too. But I mean, they all of them. I mean, the Sugar Bowl, everything else is just if they're not in the playoffs, it's not.
It's
They've
irrelevant.
just been relegated to a secondary bowl.
Absolutely.
It's-
I see what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I love the playoffs. It's a much better way of going about things than the way we used to do the BCS, which is just trying to match up 1 and 2. And hey, that was a lot better than just the polls picking who was number 1. That
Yeah.
was total bullshit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'd like to see an 8 team and all those
Yeah, me too.
big bowl games. be
Tiggy,
involved in it.
Tiggy, how do you feel about a playoff expansion?
Oh man, that'd be fantastic. I mean, I'd love to have seen last year. Penn State get in as well, and maybe
Like an 8 team.
Yeah.
I mean,
An
8 team would be great. 16. I mean, the contract goes through 2025, so there's not going to be any change until then. But
Yeah.
maybe they'll go to 6. Maybe they'll go to 8 then. I mean, hell. I mean, right now, it's still a whole lot better than what we used to have.
Well, I think it's also because college football seeing how much money you can make from these playoff games, and so I don't know. You just follow the money, and it's kind of a no brainer. The fans want it. The fans, you'd have a lot more fans interacting at the very end of the year because there's some fan bases that are really like Oklahoma, for instance. Oklahoma's been one of those teams that just couldn't bring it home for so long. But at the same time, their fan bases were a lot more fired up when they were actually in some sort of contention. And that pretty much.
I tell you what, let me ask you about the relationship between USC fans and Washington fans, because I talk a lot of shit about Washington, but like I say, I got a lot of respect for the program that they've been able to build up there. Because God Almighty, that's in Washington. That is a bastard of a place to try to recruit.
Bro, Chris Peterson the GOAT, dude. All glory to him, bro. I can't even say anything else.
Man, he's a great coach, and he got a good attitude too. I like the guy. But USC fans, man, they came into this season super hyped up. They came in preseason ranked number 5. Last year they did the same shit in the kickoff game where they had their little guys out there acting like they were dogs and having to hold them back and just beat the shit out of them. Just beat them to death the entire game. Now, how did they feel when, Washington beat them, obviously, but this year they had to be talking a lot of shit.
Oh man,
and I don't get to hear it.
Yeah, you should have seen the Pac-12 groups, dude. They're not quite as big as the SEC groups, but they got like 10,000 or so, and they've got tons of USC fans, man. They talk a lot of shit, but that's all right. They were talking hella shit because, honestly, bro, if I was a USC fan, I would do the same, right? Because they came off last year hella hot, right?
They did.
But, dude, I don't know. Something's wrong with them, right? Their coach, he's not very good, all right? I think everyone knows that.
He's not.
He got saved last year by Darnold because Darnold just went a tear, right? He just went on a tear, and he pretty much carried that team.
He did.
But this year, Darnold's just been... He hasn't been that good. His receivers have been trash, and they're pretty much all gone. They might be 5-1. But
yeah, Darnold was pretty much the preseason favorite coming out of the Pac-12 for Heisman candidate. He's just kind of laid down.
The preseason Heisman odds, he was number 1. I think it was
definitely my
8-1 or something on that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I saw too.
Yeah, it was. Hell, he had higher odds than the returning Heisman Trophy winner. That's crazy.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he'll be making it this year either.
What's the same? Just USC and Notre Dame. I know everybody probably says the same thing about Alabama. Hey, they're just overhyped every year. But Alabama's been there. Alabama's done it. Alabama's won the championships. We've been in the playoffs every year that there have been playoffs. So you can't really justify saying Alabama's overhyped, but god dang, man, Notre Dame and USC, they just do whatever they can to throw those guys in the top 10. Notre Dame was 4-8 last year, still came up top 20 this year.
Yeah,
they look good this season though. Notre Dame,
they actually do. Yeah, they gave Georgia a hell of a game.
Yeah, that's their best game is the Georgia game.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the best game's a loss.
Right.
But it's a 1-point loss.
But then again, Georgia's balling right now.
Georgia is doing a good job. Kirby Smart is a great coach. They've recruited really well.
Oh God, they've recruited great.
Big thing. But the thing is that Georgia's built like a 2009 Alabama. They've got big guys. They've got a big power run game. They've got a pocket passer. And
they won't
they've got Kirby Smart. I don't think so, man. They're built to win a championship 10 years ago. It's not about
where do either of you see the Georgia slipping up?
Oh God, man! Look, Georgia can slip up any damn where. With Mark Richt,
it is Georgia.
They would lose.
Auburn's going to be a tough game.
Hey, Mark Richt is balling right now too. I might add.
He is, man. You say he is. He's.
Nah. Miami's not good, dude. They barely beat FSU. They're gonna lose, dude.
Yeah, that was a squeaker.
Yeah, last year they did the same thing. They started off, really hot, and people were talking about them. In the end of the season, 8-4, maybe 9-3, I forget.
9-4, I think.
Yeah, something like that. I don't think that they're a serious contender.
They're going to have trouble this week against Georgia Tech, I'm sure.
Yeah, they still got to play North Carolina too.
Yep.
I don't know. North Carolina's kind of crap this year.
NC State.
Yeah, even Cal beat
NC
them.
State. Oh well, yeah, that's different.
Yeah,
that's a different game.
I mean,
right?
but those are tradition. I mean, you're talking about. I don't think Miami's that great either. So I mean, I think that they're going to drop 2 or 3 games. So they might accidentally make it to the title game, but
you mean the ACC title game?
Yeah. Not the national championship game.
I had to hold my breath there.
I figured you was going to throw a Tiggyism in
there. Yeah, no. I mean, they're not going to do that. Georgia, they've got an easy path to the SEC championship game. And honestly, Alabama has the easiest path that they've had ever to the SEC championship game because Nick Saban has killed the SEC, man.
Yep.
I mean, we talk about, hey, SEC. I mean, that actually had some legitimacy, 3 or 4 years ago when, Alabama was on this just incredible tear and, LSU had won a championship and Florida won a championship and, Georgia and Alabama played this incredible SEC championship game and then Alabama just came out and dominated.
And don't forget the championship that Auburn bought.
Right, yeah, and the one that Auburn bought.
Yeah.
Every championship that they have has been bought. They were on probation in 1957 when they won that one too.
Yeah, and I think they won a life championship under old Terry Bowden, if I remember correct.
They had to have.
Yeah,
at least one.
When they went 11.
But now the SEC has been beaten down by Nick Saban because the tenet for a new coach is, hey, you have to beat Nick Saban. The LSU fired a 10-win coach. And
in Georgia, we were just talking about Richt a moment ago with them letting Mark Richt go, which was
that was a ballsy move, and it still hasn't paid off yet. I mean, Kirby Smart has not proven himself.
I mean, he's recruited great. Don't get me wrong, but recruiting's one thing, and actually bringing wins home week in and week out, that's another, and that's what they're expecting.
Yeah. I mean, I still think Georgia's going to implode here at some point. I mean, they might surprise me, but I mean, I guess I've got that Mark Richt Georgia mentality still where they. And
having said that, I mean, since we are having a conference conversation, I mean, I would assume, based on this conversation, that the expectation to win is greater in the SEC than the Pac-12, perhaps.
The what?
Say that again.
The expectation to win by fan bases and administration is I guess it's much more pointed in the SEC than it is Pac-12.
I don't know. I can't really speak to that. I know it was high as hell in the SEC. You tell me about the Pac-12, man.
I mean, it depends, right? Like, if it's a school like Missouri or Vanderbilt, it's kind of tough to compare to a school like USC, right?
Or, hey, how about Kentucky right now?
Well, I mean, they've just played easy teams. They've played easy teams. They could be 6-0, though. They could be 6-0.
That's true.
I mean, they're going to get destroyed by UGA, and then UGA is going to probably lose to a team that they shouldn't be losing to.
So, Tiggy, what's the best team that Washington's beat, Tiggy?
So far this season, what's the best team that Washington has beat so far, in your mind?
Ooh, let's see. So, we played 3 trash teams in non-conference. Can't do anything about that. Yeah. Who else have we played? Oregon State's trash.
Colorado.
Damn. We played Colorado and Cal. Cal was pretty trash. Probably Colorado, but none of these teams are good, right? We haven't played any good teams yet. We play Arizona State next week. They're not good. We don't really play a good team until we play
UCLA,
average, a
Oregon,
decent team in UCLA.
I mean, Stanford.
Oregon. Oregon's injured though. They lost their starting quarterback, so that should be an easy game. Mm-hmm. But then we play
Oregon's
Stanford, Wazoo. There's some decent teams out there, but no one quite on our level.
Yeah, I mean, Washington has a really easy walk to the.
I'm looking over the schedule and I don't see a hiccup anywhere except for of course, the big rivalry game at Washington State.
Apple Cup,
or versus Washington State.
Yeah. Well, I mean, any given Saturday is what people say, but I mean that's.
Ask Oklahoma fans right now.
Football is not what it was, and not what it was designed to be when they put in these scholarship limitations and everything. What they've done is just make the ability of the head coach and his staff that much more important. And Alabama has a small army literally a small army of assistants and consultants and graduate assistants or whatever you want to label you want to snap on these guys. But I mean, it's 100 plus. You know, that's not including the people with actual titles like offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, head of media. Alabama's entire school and organization is built around recruiting. The media department is light years ahead of anything you'll see at another school. I mean, look at the NFL teams and the media content that they produce and the hype videos they produce. Alabama is on the same level and beating a lot of them. I mean, just destroying with the quality that they're putting out, but it's designed to bring in these recruits. It's not made for fans. I mean, look at the music that they put with these hype videos, the style and the technique that they use to build these, just 2 minute, 1 minute, just absolute fire. And I mean, look at the crap that LSU and Tennessee and Mississippi and some of these other people put out. I mean, if you can go back on Twitter, look at the same time that everybody's putting out the same stuff, like during the NFL Combine, and compare the shit that you see from, Ole Miss or from Missouri to the stuff that Alabama's putting out. I mean, it's just light years apart. And, they've not only the coaching staff, not only these assistants, but I mean, the entire organization is centered, focused. It's all recruiting all the time. And they do that on social media. They do it on Instagram. They do it on Twitter. They do it in the front office. They do it in the back. They do it with the graduate assistants. They do it with the head coach. They do it in front of interviews. And they do it, in people's living rooms. They have just really taken it to a different level. And, hey, Nick Saban is the greatest college football coach of all time. And this is coming from a fan base that had Bear Bryant. It's hard to argue against that, but it's not just
debatable.
It's that, man, by who?
Yeah,
look, when it's all said and done, you look at what Chris Peterson has done when he was at Boise State and what he's done, at Washington. And when it's all said and done, assuming Chris Peterson continues this up, he wins a national championship, maybe two. I have to say he's better than Nick Saban, because, look, think of it like this, right?
Now remember, Bobby, remember where he lives, pot is legal. So go ahead.
Well, no. Hold on. Think of it like this, right? He does more with less, right? I mean, you give Chris Peterson the head coach job at Alabama. Oh my goodness, he would win 10 national championships in like the next 9 or 10 years, right? Like, come on. Look,
but I think at Washington he's going to win 10 live championships.
I think you're getting taken in by some of the mystique of Alabama. It's hard not to, man, because Alabama is such a dominant program. But look,
if he had the talent,
when Saban walked in the door down
classes.
Here, when Saban walked in the door, his first season, he didn't win an SEC championship. He barely got bowl eligible.
Yeah, he moved to
Louisiana Monroe
program. Yeah, I mean, we lost to Louisiana Monroe. I was at that game, man. They showed up on blue school buses. And it was a huge controversy at the time, a huge controversy that we were paying Nick Saban $4 million. Oh, my God.
They were all calling for his head that weekend.
Yeah. I mean, it was, and, hey, now we pay him roughly about 10 and no one blinks. Nick Saban started
he could ask for 20
race.
and we'd give it to him in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. Nick Saban started an arms race among, head coaches and among the conference. And look, he's won it.
We destroyed the conference. Yeah.
We did. He did. He destroyed the conference. We're a fucking basketball conference now. I mean, seriously.
Nah.
I mean, we had more people in the Final Four last year than we had in the college football playoffs.
Let's get
I was lucky, South Carolina. I remember that, South Carolina. But when they had to play a superior West Coast team, we all know how that ended up.
I don't know anything about basketball, man. I mean, other than it's pretty.
I'm with you.
I honestly don't know much about. I mean, I'm vaguely aware that we have a team.
Does Alabama have a basketball team?
Coleman Coliseum.
Hey, Alabama, they recruit hella good in basketball. I think that's like a kind of like an effect from football.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
We've got. I forget the name of them. I've seen it. I mean, splash on social media at some point with a couple of really good guys coming in for basketball, and people were excited about it. Of course, they got that big scandal now with Adidas, and
everybody's wrapped up in that right now, from the
Yeah,
Pac-12 to the SEC and beyond.
Well,
Yeah,
not only the
I mean-
big teams, you know.
Yeah, I read a little bit about that. I didn't follow the whole thing. I know it's dirty and people were getting paid, and I mean it's.
Well, at least
Auburn-
Alabama and Auburn have something in common, because we've had members of both staffs have been implicated or have had to quietly resign and so on and so forth. I think it was on a lesser degree at Alabama. Of course, we had what was it? Chuck Pearson's a very, very prominent NBA star who was kicking ass down in Auburn, who's looking for a job right now. Well, fellas, we're going to wrap this up. I am so glad that both of you decided to do this. I feel like it's been a wonderful conversation, and I learned something tonight. What about you, Doug?
Oh, yeah. I learned that
that,
Tiggy's an actual real person. I don't think he's trolling. Before we get off, though, and I think my phone's fixing to die, so if it does, I apologize. Tiggy, I want to say I'm a big fan, man. I love the way that you get folks fired up on social media, man. It's always if I see you post something, I always go through it and read the comments.
Always.
I love the inventiveness and the effort that you put in, and I'm going to go ahead and call them trolls. You can say they're not. I love the inventiveness that you use because they're so subtle, right? And subtlety is usually lost on social media, particularly with. And I'm gonna be ugly about this, Bama fans, because Bama fans are really easy to troll.
Yeah.
True
story. True story.
I mean, I hate that I miss out on it, honestly. I mean, I need to get me a fake because it looks like it's so much fun, and I can't do it,
Oh, man.
I'm a big fan.
Wish I
I'm a
could,
big
though.
fan.
Yeah, I keep trying to make fake accounts so I can, because I keep getting on post block, but then Facebook, bro, they know about me, dude. They keep shutting me down.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure the NSA is already circulating some information about you anytime that you log on. There's suddenly an alert goes off, and everybody has to run back to their computers.
And
real
the one
quick.
picture comes up.
Yeah.
with the little Washington hat. And,
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, probably.
He's on. Everybody be quiet. Yeah.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You get him fired up, man. I'm a big fan. I like it.
Well, guys, we really appreciate you being on, and we look forward to bringing both of you on future broadcasts. And as always, fuck your team.